Media is considered as fourth pillar of democracy. And what if the fourth pillar of democracy is in danger? The democracy is automatically will be in danger. Hello everyone, welcome to the in-news series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about World Press Freedom Index 2024, and this session is important for your GS2 perspective as well as your essay perspective and ethics perspective as well. So moving towards the points of discussion part. First of all, we are going to discuss the news, then we are going to discuss about index in brief. After that, we are going to discuss the findings of the index, and then we are going to analyze index from India's point of view, and after that we are going to discuss practice question for prelims. Before that, you have to like, share and subscribe to the Drishti IAS channel. Moving towards the news part. So on 3rd of May, the Press Freedom Day is marked, and on this particular day, World Press Freedom Index has been released. And what are the findings of these reports we are going to discuss in today's session. So this is the news that on 3rd May, Press Freedom Day is celebrated and a particular index has been released onto this day. And what are the findings, what are the features about this index we are going to discuss in this slide. Moving to the next one, which is about the index. So who publishes this report? So Reporters Without Borders publishes this report, and in short it is also known as Reporters Sans Frontiers. And what is this Reporters Without Borders? So it is a non-profit organization who helps people to express their voice independently and with the reliable information, and it advocates the independent voices. So this is about the Reporters Without Borders. And what are the parameters on which this index has been based on? So there are 5 parameters. The first parameter is political context, legal framework, economic context, socio-cultural context and security. And what is the press freedom here? So suppose that any journalist wants to showcase, produce or write anything about a particular topic without any threat, without any kind of objections, without harming the physical and mental safety, that is called as a press freedom. And this is the main topic we are going to discuss in today's session, that why press freedom is compromised every day. And not just India, most of the Western countries, most of the developed countries are declining into this context. So moving to the next one is about findings. So when we talk about that, what are the findings overall or on a global level? So it has been fell down by 7.6 point. It means the political freedom or press freedom has been fell down by 7.6. And the first finding is government failed to protect journalism. Usually it is said that, governments are the guarantees of the freedom of speech and expression and also the guarantees of the media. But what is happening right now is that the same government is threatening the media. So this is the one of the finding of this particular thing, and it discourages the independent voices in the media. And the second one is journalism versus disinformation in super election year. So here we need to understand two things, two terms. The first term is misinformation. The second one is disinformation. And we need to know the difference between. So misinformation, what happened that suppose that if we are quoting a data, if you are saying anything about any person or any organization or any particular caste data, religion data, so there can be human mistakes that mostly you have quoted wrong. Suppose that ranking is 61 and you have quoted the 51. So this can be called as a misinformation, that ranking was 61 and why the particular media has quoted 51. So this can be misinformation. But when it comes to disinformation, you know the fact that the ranking is 61, still you are telling it as 51 with supporting your documents, supporting evidence, and you are trying to prove that particular point and particular rank that this is the 51. So this is called as disinformation by supporting various kind of wrong evidences and manipulative voices. This is called as disinformation. And in this era, disinformation has been increased. There is no action on independent journalism rather than disinformation, because journalists trying to prove their point by quoting the wrong facts, by manipulating evidences. So this is called as a misinformation. And especially in Latin America, there were won by self-proclaimed predators of press freedom. And here they have given the example of Javier Milei in Argentina. And what had happened, that Javier Milei had stopped the, what you can say, release and press of one of the most popular and one of the most media branding of that particular country. So in that way, you can say that the government is acting as an authoritarian here. Coming to the next one. Next one is about in the absence of regulation, the use of AI is creating lots of disinformation and spreading lots of disinformation, and also deepfake technology. And deepfake technology are mostly used to influence the election result. And recently we have also seen that if any political leader is giving speeches in any rally, due to the because of the deepfake technology, and after using deepfake technology, we can see that the datas are manipulated, their statements are manipulated, and these kind of things makes a different kind of mindset among the viewers, that okay, this particular leader is speaking against the reservation or talking in the favor of reservation, and because of that they set their mindset accordingly and they voted accordingly. Recently it has been happened with the video of Amit Shah, and it has been found that his video was doctored regarding the statement on reservation. Then what is the other findings, that Norway has topped this list, followed by the Denmark and Sweden, and Syria and Eritrea ranked the lowest. Coming to the other findings. So the other findings we'll discuss in the region by region. So first we will take the region of Maghreb, Middle East, and this is the one of the worst affected countries when you will talk about the press freedom. So this particular region has been ranked among the worst, followed by the Asia Pacific region, and in Asia Pacific region India is also part. Here what is happening, that journalism is suffocated by authoritarian regime because political parties are interfering a lot into the journalism. And then we have the countries where press freedom is showing a good rank. So most of these countries fall into the Europe, and most of these countries are from the European Union. But there is also problem into this, that if you talk about the Eastern European countries, especially the Russia and Belarus, the condition is not good because they are indulged in so many conflict, and we have seen the human conflict, Russia-Ukraine war, and so many other wars is happening. And why European nations are performing good into this particular area? Because they have adopted its first media freedom law, which is also known as EMFA in short. So because of that, press freedom is ensured into these countries. Then we have America. So generally it is believed that United States of America is world most finest economy. But what is happening with the world most finest economy, that they have slipped into the 10 positions, which is a very worrisome situation. And other countries are also seeing that, and in America overall the results are not satisfactory in nature. When we talk about the sub-Saharan Africa, more than 8% of African countries are colored on red on the chart. It means they are into a very serious zone. And then Middle East and North Africa is the very serious, and nearly half of the countries of Middle East and North Africa are considered as a very serious due to the Palestine conflict, and we can see the Israeli bombardment in Palestine. So many journalists are killed into this area, and because of that this zone has become a very serious, except Qatar, which is excluded from the very serious zone. So these are the findings of the press freedom in context of the world and region by region. Coming to the India's context, that what is the findings related to the India's. So when we talk about the rank of India, so India has ranked 159, and earlier its rank was 161. So India has slipped 2 points. and then we talk about the score. So the score is not satisfactory, though we have improved in the ranking, but the score is not satisfactory because other countries has slipped their position. So the score is from 36.62, it has declined from 31.28. And what are the parameters which they have talked into the India's press freedom? So the first parameter, they have taken the press freedom in crisis, and they have quoted this term that India is called as a world largest democracy, but world largest democracy, freedom of press is not seen there, and freedom of press is violated every day there, and especially in the Prime Minister Narendra Modi since 2014. And they have quoted a data also, like since January 2024, 9 journalists have been detained, but no one has killed since January 2024. But in the past they must have killed, but till now 9 journalists and 1 media worker have been detained. Then other findings are draconian laws. So this particular report has also quoted about few laws have been India which has been introduced according to that report in order to compromise the freedom of press, and these laws are Telecommunication Act, Draft Broadcasting Services Regulation Bill, and 2023 Digital Personal Protection Data Act. And because of these things, there is a silence critiques on the freedom of press and unofficial state of emergency. So because of nexus between the political parties and ruling political party and different business personalities, different business tycoons, we can see that most of the media outlets are owned by the richest person of the country. For example, Ambani has alone owned the 80 media outlets of this country, 70 media outlets of this country. So what it tells that there is a nexus between the ruling political parties and the media houses, and as a result they are showing the news related which is in the praise of the government, which does not criticize the government policies, which does not questions the draconian laws launched by the government. So this report says that. The other things they talk about the harassment to journalists. So we often see that recently the Ved, who says himself as a Bahujan journalist, whose account has been suspended yesterday only. Then we have also seen that Bolta Hindustan is a YouTube channel who is also suspended last month only. So these are the things which shows that the journalists are harassed, the media houses are harassed, and if any journalist shows any true things or any negative things about the particular ruling political party, the journalist has to face different kind of online threats, harassments, bullying, trolling. So these kind of things happen with the journalist. And then what is the response of the government of India into all these analysis which has been released by this particular index? So Anurag Thakur, who is a union minister, has said that whatever the analysis has been done in context of India is not true, because there are certain lacunas in it. The first lacuna is very low sample size, little or no weightage to fundamentals of democracy and adoption of methodology. And because of that, we cannot say that whatever the data and whatever the findings which has been done in context of India is not true, because the data is manipulated, the sample size is very low. They have not analyzed the whole context of democratic credential of the country, and their methodology is very wrong. So because of that, India's situation in India, freedom of press cannot be analyzed. So this is the government of India's reaction to this particular freedom of index. Then coming to the question part. So the question is, consider the following statement regarding World Press Freedom Index. And the first statement is, India ranked below Pakistan and Bangladesh. So here you have to find that India ranked below Pakistan or Bangladesh or both. Then you have to answer accordingly. And the second statement is, India ranked 161 out of 176 countries. Here they are asking the correct statement, and your options are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So kindly answer this into the comment section. I hope you like this session. If you have any queries to this session, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.